We are back at playing retail, and I'm going to give you a few reasons why I am going to come back, or I am back at retail. Let's say that because it's already happening, and my mindset going into retail and how I will be playing the game from now on, and see how I can actually turn it into a positive spin. Now, we are currently at 11.0.7, and for the people that do not know me, I am a PvPer. I play PvP 90% of the game, I would say. Except whenever I'm on Classic, then I'm doing like 50-50. I do PvE and PvP for multiple reasons. I could make a video about that, but anyways, we are going to talk about the PvP side of things, but also the PvE side because I came with a different mentality. I came to the conclusion that I only experience just such a gigantic part for me, but probably a little part for most players on World of Warcraft, which is PvP. And that what was and will always be my focus in PvP on retail. But I've decided to also take a spin into PvE. I decided to say, look, maybe I should also just do Mythic Plus and do some raids because again, I limit myself playing a game that literally is much bigger than what I pretend it to be. So I'd like to again say that I'm still a PvPer. I will be still doing solo shuffles. I will still do some solo QRBGs. I will do 3v3s and 2v2s, but with the mindset of I want to also push some Mythic Plus keys. I also want to find maybe a raiding guild. That would be maybe fun to do one time per week doing a raid. That could be fun. And it's not like I'm going to lose my progress on PvP because frankly speaking, PvP is very easy to maintain. Let me explain. The gearing process in the War Within has been the easiest it ever has been PvP wise. You could maybe say Legion because it had templates, but I really hated templates. So if you could actually choose the templates, why not? But you cannot really choose. At least in the War Within, you can choose your gear. You can also make crafting gear if you have nothing available to you in the conquest vendors. So for me, the War Within has been very easy to gear. If you're playing like multiple characters, I literally all my characters here that you see are all characters that are fully equipped conquest or very close to it. And maybe I stopped playing it because I don't just play that class anymore. So that is just not hard to catch up. So basically, you just play one day and you are like fully conquest capped. In a normal season now it's like uncapped. Obviously, you can like go to the limit, but that's not the point. If you want to get a farm gear to gear, like gear every single week in PvP, you just play one day of PvP and you're set. Like literally, you don't need to catch up gear. That aside, you also have queue times and obviously MMR. And PvP is again a game mode that is like a season long. So obviously, if you're doing soul shuffle and you get 2100, for example, in the first few weeks of a patch, or for example, season one, I got duelist pretty much like I think 6 weeks into it, something like that. Once I got duelist, the MMR again, if it's inflated or not, that will depend if I will hard push or not. That's how it goes. Also the queue times. If the queue times are like very fair, then you are going to continue playing. That is something that is actually very, I would say, you can combine it very well with PvE. So basically, I could just play like 4 times a week PvP if I'm playing every single day, which is not always the case. But let's say I play 7 days out of 7. I play 4 times PvP out of this week, and then I do like a raiding day with the guild on one day, for example, in the week, and then I'll do some Mythic Plus. It's very, very combinable. And you're not really losing any progress in PvP. It's not like you gotta keep on queuing because you're going to be left behind. That's not the case. Like even if you're not queuing, the MMR is going to go up day by day, week by week. So you're even making progress by just not playing. So that's something that is actually that you need to take into account. So that's why I want to maybe jump into PvE and see for myself if I'm going to enjoy playing PvE, because that's very new for me. But let's talk about this channel. Since this channel is more about PvP, I'm going to talk about the PvP goals I have for this season and for season 2. So this season will be running more likely 1 month and a half, 2 months. I think in February we will get 11.2, which is 11.1, excuse me. Wow, 11.2. It feels long, but it's not that long. It's 11.1, excuse me. And that patch will be interesting because there is a lot of class changes. Now, my goal is, since we have 2 months, is that I'm gonna try to get elite sets on every single class. Now, some classes already have, for example, my Warlock already have, Paladin I already have, Shaman I already have, Monk I already have, and they were all like 2100, or even my Warlock has 2.4k MMR. I just need to queue up and I will get 2.4k pretty much. But that is more like a queue time thing. So that I will do that at the end of the season, why not? But for now, my first goal would be just to play every single class and make videos about every single class, my journey to 1800, which is, again, it's not impressive, but a lot of people are still under 1800, so maybe I can help those people to have an understanding of the class that they're playing. So my warriors, for example, very close to 1800, I will be probably queuing as Preservation Evoker. I will be queuing as a Disc Priest or Shadow Priest, I don't know. I'm going to give you like an indication on every single class, every single spec I'm going to play to get that achievement with every single class. For elite sets, again, if I want to push Glad, I will probably play Warlock. Not Glad, but like 2.4k or a Legend, because I'm not going to do a lot of 3v3, sadly. I'm going to push as Arms Warrior, I'm going to push as Preservation Evoker, I'm going to push either with Shadow Priest or Disc Priest. It really depends on my gear. I don't remember if I have Mastery or Haste. If I have Mastery, I will just do as a Disc Priest, I think. On my Druid, I'll be trying to do as a Resto Druid, but I think it's probably easier to do as a Balanced Druid. We'll have to see. It all depends on queue times. I'll be trying to push maybe as an Arcane Mage or a Frost Mage. Why Arcane Mage? Because I want to make it a bit more difficult for me, and that would be a fun journey. I think a lot of people are not playing Arcane Mage and might be interested to see an Arcane Mage on the channel. I'll be pushing as an Assassination Rogue. I think that's very doable. I think I have the gear for it as well. So I'll be doing that as well. I'll be doing as a BM Hunter, like I'm already very close as a BM Hunter, so I will be doing that. I think I'm gonna do that as an unholy DK on my DK, but I could also do Frost. It really depends. Like, again, I let everything open to the decision making. Again, those are probably the classes I'm going to do it as the last, and I'm gonna do as a Havoc Demon Hunter, obviously, because there's only one DPS spec, which is like an ugly transmog, to be fair. But I'm gonna do that, and I'll be having fun. I'll also send the conquest boxes so I can gear up my characters that are not geared. Like, for example, the H is not really well geared because I didn't play too much of it. I actually didn't play it like this season at all. I think I did like 3 solo shuffles, and those were terrible for me. I think I had like 1-5 or whatever. It was in the beginning of the season where DH was actually very, very bad. But yeah, I think those are my plans. The second plan is to not stop because it's very hard, but to diminish my complaints on the game and try to enjoy for what it is instead of what it could be. It's very different. It's very hard because I am very critique, and I know what I want from the game. I know what the game is capable to be, and I'm also I know what the devs can do to achieve that. And it's not really it's maybe hard to implement, maybe, I don't know, but the idea is simple. I think a lot of people have the same ideas, but I think for now I'm gonna try to. It's very hard to appreciate the game for what it is instead of what it could be. It's hard, but I think I'll do my best. Like, in my videos, I'll try to transpire a bit more positivity. It's very hard. Like, again, when the queue times hits 20 minutes, it's tough. But luckily, I have work, which I can do it from home, so I can queue up and work, which is not really ideal. Whenever I'm queuing up, I want to play. I don't want to work. So obviously, me working means that the queue times are very, very inefficient, but it is what it is. Also can play Classic, So obviously I'm playing classic on my second channel. I'm making content on there. So obviously I can like combine those two. It's not ideal again because if I want to play retail, I want to play retail. I don't want to play classic. But it is what it is. So I'm gonna do that. And my third goal would be to narrow down my mains, which means that I'm going to make a lot of people sad, or a lot of people happy, or a lot of people indifferent, because it is what it is. Some people are like looking in the channel with the intent of actually watching me play and or watching me grow as a YouTuber, as a content creator, instead of like watching me like purely because I play warrior, purely because I play shaman or whatever. But I want to try to narrow it down because it is very overwhelming. I think I burned myself out in the Warthin by playing every single class, by leveling every single class, because every single class has been leveled, by literally playing every single spec, by making so many videos at the start of the Dwarfin as well, because I really went all in and it really showed on my analytics. But since then I am nosediving because I'm just like burned out. I don't want to be burned out. So what I'm gonna do is like stop trying to see the warband as I want to have 4 mains, because I always had 4 mains in Shadowlands. I had 4 mains in Dragonflight. I had 4 mains. Even in BFA I had it, although I didn't play too much BFA. Even like back in the day, whenever I'm playing Rav, Cataclysm, Mist of Pandaria, I always had multiple characters as mains because, again, my friends wanted to play healer and then sometimes they want to play DPS, so I try to also combine myself with them. So I'll try to diminish that. I want to maybe find just 2 big mains, just playing those 2 classes, not having all of the same classes as well, just play those 2 classes, do PvP with them, and also PvE. And I'm just going to concentrate on that only. It's very hard for me because I love every single class, and every single time I'm seeing on the PTR some cool stuff, for example hunters with MM, and looking at the tree of MM, it looks very fun to play in PvP. But yeah, I have to make choices. I cannot really like rely on changes on PTR because, again, they could always put something cool or they could destroy a whole class, which is annoying, but it is what it is. And my idea is to use that 1800 series to my advantage by playing all those classes and specs and rating them for myself at the end of the 1800 journey, which is not going to be very long. Like, I think in social shuffles, if you win 2 lobbies, you're pretty much 1800, but it is what it is. I'm going to do that, and I'm going to make like a notation. So basically I'm going to note every single class from 1 to 10, and if it's a 10 it's the best, if it's a 1 it's the worst, obviously. And I'm going to try to do that for every single spec and class. Obviously if I play arcane, I really detest arcane. I'm going to try frost and I'm going to try fire. And maybe the series, if the series is way too fast, so if I get 1800 way too quickly, because again it's inflated, so it's not going to be very hard, I'm going to do that the same for every single spec. And I'm also going to do the tank specs as well. So my goal is, again, I'm going to repeat myself, every single class to be 1800, so those are already above 1800, they are like even 2100 and even above that. And then those are going to be 1800, 1800, 1800 with one spec, just one spec, one spec, one spec, one spec. And then once I'm done with it, and I feel like, look, I need to have more information about all other specs, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do 1800 as a fury warrior, I'm going to do the 1800 as a protection warrior, I'm going to do 1800 as a devastation evoker, as an augmentation evoker, I'm going to do 1800 as a shadow priest or a holy priest, I'm going to do the same for feral druid, I'm going to do the same for resto druid and balance druid. Now again, guardian druid probably not. Yeah, I do not really like the playstyle of guardian druid, but that's only for me. I'm gonna do the same for mage, frost, fire, and arcane. I'm gonna do the same for sub, outlaw, and assassination rogue. I'm gonna do survival hunter, hunter, and BM hunter. I'm gonna do that for blood decay, although it's got nerfs, so I don't think it's going to be very fun. Frost decay and unholy decay. I'm gonna do that. Not for Demon Hunter because I don't really care about Vengeance Demon Hunter. So I'm going to do that for every single class, and then I'm going to go back to my Warlock, Paladin, Shaman, and Monk to do that challenge for every single spec there. Now obviously for my Shaman I already did that, so I am already above 1800 on my Elemental Shaman, and like they are above, like they are 2k or 2.1k or whatever, so I just need to play. I get probably 2.4k at the end of the season, but that's not the goal right now. So right now I'm going to do that, and if I have time, and I feel like, okay, now I want to push maybe 2.4k or whatever, so I have it for my for the season. I'll do on my Warlock most likely, because I have like higher MMR and I'm doing very well on my Warlock. So that is my plan, and at the end, normally I'll be able to decide what I'm going to main for 2.1. Now obviously the PTR can, like, again, throw me a fit and make enhancement shaman so much more cooler, for example, or they're making like arms where literally a killing machine. That will can also decide, but I'm gonna try to do it that way, so I can also make content about it, so I can show you guys the progress. So I'm gonna try to record whenever I'm playing. It's kind of hard because, again, I don't really like recording every single time whenever I'm playing. It's something like I forget just generally, so that's why I don't have a lot of b-roll, because I just forget to do that. I'm not streaming every single day. I'm also just not streaming at all right now, so it's not like I can do it from my streams. Like, I cannot take the content from my streams and say, oh, look, that is the b-roll, or look, that's the things that I'm going to use in my videos for 1800 or whatever the series is going to be called. That's not really happening, so I will try to record every single time I'm playing, so I have b-roll, and at the end I'll do a voiceover most likely to explain the difficulties of every single spec and class, the strength, weaknesses, what I liked about the class or spec, what I disliked about it, what were good lobbies, what were bad lobbies. Like those are the things that you can expect in those videos. I'm not going to do a guide for 11.0.7 because literally all classes have been unchanged. It is still a very buggy mess. I still don't know how they can release patches that are simply not functioning. Like I'm talking about the ring quests on the Siren Isle. But again, I'll try to limit my negativity. I'll try to just be positive and talk about positives. So those are my goals going into 11.0.7. Going to, it's already happening, right? But going into the mentality of I want to be able to enjoy the game without like having negative thoughts. So I will try to oppress it and have just fun. I just look into having fun. That's all I want, all I care anyways. That's why I'm also playing classic. Like, I'm having fun as well, and until I don't like lose that, I'm going to keep on playing it. And right now classic has been really fun, and it's doing also pretty well on the second channel, so I'm gonna keep it at that. And this channel will still be about retail, so I'm gonna do content about PvP, and I might also make content about PvE and like do a series like PvPer going into PvE kind of arc, right? And then I will be having my opinions about it and the struggles and the successes I will have in PvE. Again, thank you for watching this video. Really appreciate you. Be sure to subscribe to the channel if you haven't done that yet. It has been a while. I didn't make like a heart-to-heart video like this, and hopefully you do like that. I'll be making more gameplay videos, more commentary videos, more discussion videos, like more in-depth very soon. But I just need to have time and have the luxury to be able to make the videos reliably, because it's like the holidays, the kids are at home, so yeah, it's not as always that easy to make, but I will try to do my best to make content. Again, thank you for watching. Have a great day. Bye.